Iran has officially confirmed the assassination of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, marking one of the most consequential political killings in modern Middle Eastern history and pushing the region into an unprecedented phase of conflict.
بزرگ ایران، روح بلند پیشوای ملت بزرگ ایران و پیشقراول امت اسلامی حضرت امام خامنه ای با نوشیدن شهد گوارای شهادت در ماه مبارک رمضان به ملکوت اعلی پیوست. شورای عالی امنیت ملی در این زمینه بیانیه‌ای به این شهر صادر کرده است. بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم. روح بلند پیشوای ملت بزرگ ایران و آزادی خواهان جهان و امت اسلامی حضرت امام خامنه ای قدس الله نفسه الزکیه به ملکوت اعلی پیوست و به آرزوی دیرینی خیش رسید و به تأسی از جد بزرگوارش امام علی صلوات الله علیه و سلامه علیهما در ماه مبارک رمضان با سر دادن ندای آسمانی فست و به رب الکعبه به ساحت مقدس الهی واصل گردید و شهد گوارای شهادت را در این ماه مبارک نوش نمود.
Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian condemned the killing as a great crime, vowing retaliation and declaring that the attack would open what he described as a new chapter in the history of Islamic world. Tehran has announced 7 days of national shutdown alongside 40 days of mourning, signaling both political shock and preparation for prolonged confrontation. The leadership losses appear to extend far beyond Khamenei himself. Iran's official IRNA news agency reports that Ali Shamkhani, a senior political advisor to the Supreme Leader and Secretary of Iran's Defense Council, was also killed in the strikes on Tehran. The Commander-in-Chief of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Mohammad Pakpour, has likewise been confirmed dead, dealing a severe blow to Iran's military command structure. With Iran's highest authority gone, the country has activated a temporary leadership mechanism, transferring executive authority to a 3-member council consisting of the president, the judiciary chief, and senior jurists from the Guardian Council until a permanent succession process unfolds. But instead of de-escalation, the assassination has triggered immediate military expansion. Israel announced a new wave of airstrikes, saying more than 30 targets across western and central Iran were hit, including ballistic missile systems, air defense installations, and military headquarters. Israeli officials say operation will continue against what they call regime targets. Iran responded within hours. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps declared the launch of what it called the most devastating offensive operation in the history of Islamic Republic, targeting Israel as well as American military assets across the Middle East. Missile and drone attacks have been reported across multiple Gulf states hosting U.S. forces since yesterday. In the United Arab Emirates, 1 person was killed in Abu Dhabi after missile interceptions, while explosions and fires were reported near Dubai's Palm Jumeirah area. In Bahrain, missiles targeted the headquarters of U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet in Manama, with residential buildings damaged and emergency crews deployed after drone impacts. Kuwait confirmed ballistic missile attacks on Ali Al Salem Air Base and a drone strike near Kuwait International Airport that injured workers and caused structural damage. Qatar intercepted multiple missile waves, with authorities confirming at least 66 missiles were fired toward the country. Falling shrapnel injured several people nationwide, prompting emergency alerts urging residents to remain indoors and away from military installations. Saudi Arabia also reported attempted strikes on Riyadh and eastern regions, all of which it says were repelled. Meanwhile, drone and missile incidents were reported near Erbil Airport in Iraq, alongside strikes targeting armed group facilities south of Baghdad, raising fears that militia groups may soon directly enter the conflict. Airspace closures followed across Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, and the UAE, while maritime authorities warned vessels operating in the Gulf about potential disruption near the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical oil supply routes. Amid the military escalation, the humanitarian toll inside Iran continues to rise. Iranian authorities say an Israeli strike on the Sharjah Tayyibas Girls Elementary School in Minhab has killed more than 100 civilians, many of them children, with dozens more injured as rescue operations continue. Iranian officials argue the attack challenges U.S. and Israeli claims that operations are limited to military targets. There has been no immediate response from Washington or Tel Aviv regarding these civilian casualty reports. In Israel, Iranian missile barrages killed 1 Israeli woman and wounded more than 120 people, despite widespread interceptions by Israeli air defense systems. Shrapnel injuries were also reported in Palestinian areas of occupied West Bank, highlighting how civilians beyond the main combatants remain exposed. This marks the second time U.S. strikes have taken place during active nuclear negotiations with Iran, prompting analysts to question the credibility of future diplomacy. President Donald Trump, however, said the United States is now in a stronger negotiation position, arguing Iran's retaliation has been weaker than expected. Notably, Oman, which had been mediating talks and was sparred from Iranian strikes, expressed dismay at the collapse of negotiations. Just hours before the attacks, Omani officials had described peace as within reach, following reported Iranian concessions on uranium stockpiling. Now those negotiations appear effectively dead. Across Iran, footage show mass mourning gatherings as citizens take to streets following confirmation of Khamenei's death, even as missile exchanges continue across the region. What began as supposed targeted strikes has now evolved into a multi-front confrontation involving Iran, Israel, and the United States, and several Gulf states with energy markets, global shipping routes, and regional stability hanging in the balance.